Focus on my brake lights. Ain't turning back. Now that I'm back on track, yeah. Take my word from it. Put a couple bands on it. And I don't plan on letting people turn me. No. You can say what you want. I'ma keep pressing on. I can't go pop that green light. I'm feeling green light. Talking to my past life. Focus on my brake lights. Cruising to my future now.
Hello, all of you beautiful viewers out there. You know what time it is when you hear that music and you see that intro. You say, ooh, this is my favorite time because my girls are on the screen and I know they are not going to disappoint, and you are not wrong. We have a great show in store for you, but let us introduce ourselves before we dive into what we are going to be talking about. So we have this lovely host here.
Hi, I'm ShyTia.
And
Angeli.
And I am Francisca, and we are breaking the silence. And that is what we are going to be doing today. So if you're looking for a calm Zen moment
This is
in
not
your
the show
day,
for you.
this is not the show
Sorry.
for you. But it will be a great moment to relax and enjoy and get some laugh in along the way. So let us talk about what we're going to be speaking about on our first topic today, which is the mommy track, the ultimate flex or career risk. So this is a track that a lot of people are on or struggling with, right? Do I stay home with my kids? Do I go after my career? Can I do both? Is the burnout really worth it?
Yeah.
Is staying at home, raising my kids really worth it if I'm not gonna be able to get the career, what I really wanted to do with my life? So that's what we're gonna be talking about in that topic, which is gonna be a great discussion. And our other discussion is the power of the jump back. So basically, we're gonna be talking about how we jump back into our Zen state, our calm state, after we've gotten some bad news, bad phone call, something has happened to kind of disrupt ourselves. How quickly can we jump back so that we don't allow that situation, that person, to ruin our day or just ruin our week?
Yeah.
You know, so that's what we're going to be talking about as well. And hack or whack.
Ooh.
Yes,
Right.
cleaning edition. So since we're doing spring cleaning, we want to be able to give you all the hacks because that's what we need in order to get all the cleaning done, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then rose thorn butt.
Yes.
We
love
always,
it
they
so much.
love rose
Need
thorn
to
butt.
have,
That
like,
is
you
their
know,
favorite.
that progress or to check in on ourselves to see if we're doing well or not.
Hold ourselves accountable.
Yeah, more like it, right? But I heard that you learned something new.
Yes.
And
What is the fun fact
what
today?
is it?
Yes, because if you watch the show long enough, you know that I always say something about procrastination.
No.
Okay. All right.
Yes. And so actually I was watching this video where they did like this research on why smart people, not saying that I'm smart, don't think that I'm like,
just
all of
saying.
that. But it was actually research done because there's a lot of smart people who procrastinate. And it was actually saying that they do it because there's no like pressure when it comes to them. So they have tasks that they have to do, and because they know they can get it done in the snap of their finger, they will just wait and
Until the last minute.
wait to the last minute. And then it's like their brain clicks and it's like, okay, now it's time for you to do it because now the pressure's on to get it done in the deadline.
Very interesting.
Okay, so then if you know a procrastinator, just give them a lot of work with tight deadlines and it's going to get done.
yes.
So that's very
Yeah,
informative.
because it actually gets done in the time and you're just like, if you could do it
actually
that
gets
fast,
done that
why
fast.
you just
Why
didn't
just-
do it?
Yeah.
Now you know why.
I think there's a lot of very smart people out there that love to procrastinate and then complain all the way through the procrastination, but they get it done so fast.
That's
Yes.
right.
So we need to do a little bit more research onto that. All right, well, thank you for dropping that little bit of knowledge here on Breaking the Silence. So on that note, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Join the conversation. Breaking the silence.
We said we'd never give in to a meltdown.
Okay.
We'd never babysit with a screen. We said we'd never let the toys take over.
Mariella.
Never leave the house looking, well, and never let them out of our sight.
Skylar, come here.
Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
On Breaking the Silence, we aim to broaden your horizons on a variety of topics.
Justification that comes with any addiction.
Beneficial advice you can use in your daily life.
But as you mature, you have to be with someone who matures with you.
Let's explore today's topic together on Breaking the Silence.
Have you heard about the mommy track? So it's been this new thing we've seen a lot going around that people are talking about the mommy track. Basically what it is women have to decide whether or not they want to stay home with their children, whether they want to go after their careers, or if they can do both. And so some people say that if you really want to go after your career, if you want to have a fulfilled career, then this could be career suicide. Basically because you're going to be off of work for such a period of time that you're not going to have the same knowledge, you're not going to be up to date on all the new things in that career, and you could get passed up for promotions if you go on the mommy track. But others are saying, no, it's important for us to stay at home with our children, to raise our children, and it's okay if my career does not go off in the way that I was hoping it would, because being at home with my children is more important than having burnout and experiencing negative effects from putting my career first. So it's going to be a little bit of a heated discussion. We're going to be giving the pros and the cons on both sides of the coin as to whether or not mommy track is or is not for everybody. So, ladies, as you heard, this is something that a lot of people are debating, whether or not they should stay at home. I think now a lot of women are starting to find out and realize that, yes, we can have it all. We can have the career, we can have the, motherhood experience, we can raise our children, but that tends to bring a lot of burnout because you're trying to be on for everybody. And so when you do that, you're not able to give your best in that one area. So you're just kind of maintaining it. So a lot of women are saying, like, I would prefer to be at home with my kids than to be burnt out at work. So what are your thoughts on this mommy track? And do you think that this is something that we should be embracing, or is it something that maybe is a career suicide?
Well, I definitely think that, especially for women who maybe you've gone to school for certain things, like you have a degree in this area, because, and especially in certain areas, like let's say doctors or even teachers, these things are always changing. So it's like if you take, let's say, 5 years off, let's say you're like, okay, I'm going to have a baby, I'm going to stay home until they start going to school. By the time you get back into that field, you're not going to have the same skill set because things have improved, technology have advanced, you no longer need to do this, you no longer need to do that. It's like, back in the day, secretaries used to have to know how to do shorthand and all of these things, but today they don't need those things, So it's like if they take those years off, and especially for women who, let's say they take the whole 18 years off or they're having children back to back. And so it's like they're taking more years off. The longer you take off, the less experience you're going to have, the more training you're going to need when you come back. And that's even if companies are willing to hire you, because there's companies who are going to see that gap and be like, well, you wasn't really doing anything. I'm going to go with someone who's more experienced, who's this, who's that. So it is kind of hard for you to get back in that field. And even there's companies now where, even though they shouldn't do it, but we've heard stories where there's companies where the woman won't get promoted. You know, they don't get that manager feel. They don't get this promotion. Why? Because their boss, the CEO or whoever is like, oh, but she's in her late 20s. She's in her early 30s. She's going to start having kids. If I promote her now, what if next year she gets pregnant? What if she has a kid and then she has to take time off? I'd rather deal with a man who won't take any time off, who will just be straight up in the thing, or maybe even an older woman who are not going to have kids later. That way we know that this job is secure. We don't have to worry about looking for people, hiring people. So it's something that women do need to think about, because it's like, okay, if I do this, we're going to lose an income, because what about, you know, we have a 2-income household and now we're going down to 1 income. So if you're depending on both income, that's also something you need to worry about, because now your spouse has to take up solely all of the responsibility financially while you stay home with the kids. And kids increases the finances.
Greatly.
It increases a lot. So that's something we also need to worry about.
Yeah. And there are those as well, that there are those group of women that they can juggle both, but not in extremes, you know, because again, for one who just want to be a stay-at-home mom, right, you need to be there fully, or for another one who just wants to be in their career, you also need to be there fully. So it's not all, for some, it's not all or nothing. You're just basically just turning it down a little bit, you know, so you're slowing it down. Well, if it's like a career that's like very advanced, for example, like I know that there are some careers that they give you those time off. So that is why it's very important when you're planning, right, to build a family, your family planning, you need to know like points in your, like seasons in your life where, because imagine the career peak that you don't want to, hey, you're about to get promoted or you're the one who's doing everything, right? So there's always that middle ground that you're not going to be burnt out. Maybe you can tackle on remote work, for example, or at least even though you're not at the place, you are still building up your skill set. So it's not that you're just there taking care of the kids, doing nothing, but on the side, when the kids are asleep or when you get that time, you're still doing something to improve yourself, even though you're not at the establishment, at the company. So it's not like you're just, I stopped completely. So there's still that middle ground, although I know it's not like the extreme, like being fully at work and being fully in the house, So some women can make it work.
Yeah. And I think that's the key, is knowing what you can do and what is going to work best for you. If the career is something that is the top priority, then go after your career. If raising children and being at home with your kids is your top priority, then do that. And always keep your skills, as Angeli said, always keep your skills up to date, because things are changing every single year. And as long as you're keeping your skills up to date, it'll be easier for you to get a job when you decide to get back into your career field. But at the end of the day, you have to do what is best for you and what is going to fit your life the best, not according to what other people say you should or should not be doing. All right, so give it some thought, make the decisions, but do what is best for you. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hear from strong women who are crushing their goals, overcoming challenges, and living their best lives. You won't want to miss a single empowering minute. Stay tuned and join the movement.
Want to receive daily messages of faith and encouragement? Join Bishop Barrett Joshua Telegram channel. It's simple, just follow these steps. Download the Telegram app from your app store. Open Telegram and tap on the search bar. Type in Bishop Joshua Fonseca and select the channel. Click Join to become a part of a growing community of faith and support. By joining, you'll gain exclusive access to powerful messages of faith from Bishop Joshua himself. Don't miss out. Join today.
My name's Mark. I'm an alcoholic.
Dorothy T., and I am an alcoholic.
I'm an alcoholic. My name is Victoria.
My journey in AA started years ago when I reached the outside limits of my desperation.
And then these people, just gathered around me. That was the fellowship in action.
if I carry any sort of message with my story, it's that, keep coming back and that this thing does work.
If you have a problem with alcohol, contact AA. It works.
From the final days of Israel's judges to the fall of Jerusalem, Kings brings to life the powerful story of a nation led by prophets, ruled by kings, and shaped by faith. Journey through the calling of Prophet Samuel and witness the rise and fall of Israel's greatest rulers. Their triumphs, their mistakes, and the timeless lessons they leave behind. The Return of Kings begins May 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Only on LFN.
All right, get your pen, get your paper, open up your notes tab on your phone because we're going to be doing viral hacks. And hopefully not all of them are whack, and you can write down a few of them and try and use them at your house.
Okay, I'm excited because we always need new, faster ways to do things.
Smarter ways.
Exactly.
Yes.
Instead of just scrubbing everything on your hands and knees.
No, especially if there's an easier way to do it. We need to figure that out, and we're going to be giving our viewers some hacks as well for them to be using. Okay. But if you have hacks that you want to share with us, we would love to hear from you. So send us a text message, or you can go to our Instagram page where you can leave us your hacks, and maybe we will show them here on Viral Hacks. All right, so let us look at our first viral hack.
If you've ever been in the shower, looked up and noticed that the water is not coming out straight down or straight out, but it's kind of shooting in different directions, that's a really good indication that your shower head has hard water buildup. This is nothing to feel bad about. It's perfectly normal and natural, but it is annoying, and it means that your shower head is not going to work as efficiently as you would like it to. Very easy fix for this is to fill a plastic bag with plain white vinegar. Make sure there are no holes in it. That would be a real bummer. And then affix it to the shower head with an elastic band. Leave it overnight. The vinegar will help to break down all of those little pieces of hard water buildup that have been stuck in the shower head over time. Then the next morning, just remove the vinegar, dump it down the drain, run the shower head, and you'll see immediately, you'll notice a difference. Now, if you're still having some issues, you can take either a little cleaning toothbrush or a cloth and just gently give a scrub, and that will help to lift off any of the residual hard water buildup. This also will work really well on a faucet head if needed.
I do that on my deep cleaning bathroom days. I definitely have the shower, the vinegar there on all of my faucets.
Really?
And then I just leave it there while I'm cleaning everything else. And then I take it up and spray
it does the job. It really does the job.
And you see the little particles.
You do. You really do. This is definitely a hack.
Vinegar is a cleaning hack all on its own. Like you can use it for so many things.
Yes.
So this was a hack or a whack?
Hack.
All right, hack. All right, let us see our next one.
The next hack is for your shower. If you have a glass shower, you know that the glass tends to get foggy over time and get water spots over time. And a really easy hack here is actually just to treat it with Rain-X. Rain-X is usually used on people's windshields to help the water bead up. But if you can get the water to bead up on your glass showers, then it's going to prevent some of that fogginess and some of those hard water stains. So just treat it according to the directions, and then you can see the water will bead so much better.
I've tried that before. It does work. My only issue is that I don't remember to buy a new bottle of Rain-X. So it's like if it's something that you're constantly going to remember to buy new, because you kind of get used to your cleaning product. So when you have to do something else, you kind of have to remind yourself about it. but it does work. Like, it doesn't have the hard water stains or like the soap scum as, you know, you would normally have it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty cool hack. I never would have thought to use Rain-X on the shower doors.
That's true, because for like your windshield.
Yeah, I mean, it works amazing on cars. So, I mean, I might have to try that.
That will be
it
a
does
hack.
work if you can remember to buy it.
Yeah.
All right, so I would definitely say hack. A hack. All right, let's see our next one.
You don't have to spend a lot of money for magic erasers. I know they're really expensive. You can literally just make your own. You can buy this bulk thing of like melamine sponges on Amazon. I think I got like a bajillion of them for $10, something like that. And then all you want to do is create a spray bottle. You're going to add warm water, add a tablespoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of borax. And then this will be the perfect solution to make your own magic erasers. So you can actually use this. I have like a lot of scuffs on my walls thanks to kids, so I have a lot of options to show you how this works. Basically, you can take your solution and spray it directly onto the scuff, but I find it's better to just like spray it directly onto your sponge. And there you go. You have a magic eraser that cost you like a fraction of what a real magic eraser cost, and it works just as good. Maybe better. I'm not sure.
All right, for me, if that works, that is a hack. Because those magic erasers are so expensive. And they don't last very long.
They don't.
They disintegrate so fast.
For me, it's okay, I'm not saying that it's not a hack. I'm just saying I won't do it. I'll just buy the magic eraser.
She's not going to go through all of that.
I'm not going to have a secret potion and all of this stuff.
But those things are expensive.
Yeah, but you see, I don't have kids and I don't have a pet. So I'm not really like scuffing off things that often. So I'll do it
Look, if you buy
magic eraser.
I think that's a hack
for me. Yeah,
that's a hack.
It's a hack. It's just a hack I wouldn't do. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a hack.
I have enough mysterious spray
like
bottles.
She doesn't even know what you're like, what did I mix it with?
So no, thank you.
All right, let's see the next one.
Today I'm sharing with you some oddly useful cleaning hacks, and number 8 nearly broke the internet when it was first shared. To start, we are going to be talking about dryer sheets, and we're actually not going to be using them in the dryer. Okay, so dryer sheets are actually amazing for dusting. They have anti-static properties which reduce cling, making it easier to remove dust, pet hair, and lint from surfaces, and the softening agents break down grime, while the slightly abrasive texture provides gentle scrubbing for smudges. Additionally, they leave behind a thin protective layer that helps prevent future dust buildup, keeping surfaces clean for longer. And a bonus, they smell nice, so pick one where you like the scent. Another thing the dryer sheets are amazing for is cleaning inside of bathrooms. Because of the anti-static property, they're really great at getting up dust and pet hair. And if you've ever gone into your bathroom and tried to clean and you're using like a wet cloth to try to get up hair, it's almost impossible. It's actually slightly maddening. So go through with a dryer sheet first to pick up all of the dust and pet hair, and then go in with your wet cloth.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I use it for all baseboards, blinds,
and it
everything.
smells so good. So it's just like a light scent
idea.
behind.
Yeah,
It
very
will
very
attract all of the dust.
Yeah.
And like they said with pet hair, that is so annoying. When you're trying to pick it up and it just continues to fly and invade you. So definitely hack. All right, let us see our next one.
We are putting Pine Sol in the washing machine. All right, just hear me out on this one.
Okay, so this hack was first shared on a TikTok account called Pairs Well with Wine. She showed in her video that she cleans her comforters by adding Pine Sol to the drum of the washing machine, and people were, well, pretty upset. But it is true that you actually can use Pine Sol to clean your laundry. It even clarifies it right on their website. And the original poster argued that it deodorizes and removes all kinds of stains. Now, the reason that most people were upset about this hack, once I went through some of the comments, is because most of them said that the smell of Pine Sol gives them the ick. So fair enough. If you don't like the smell of Pine Sol, this one might not work for you. But if you don't mind the smell, about a quarter cup into your washing machine for things that need to be deodorized, for things that have some heavy stains, Pine Sol might be the one to do the trick. I'm not gonna lie, I use it on my comforter. It had a small scent to it left on the comforter, but not overpowering. Almost couldn't even really tell it was there. And my comforter came out really, really clean. Now in the same controversial video that she shared about the Pine Sol,
salt. It actually was more about the way that she folds her comforters to get washed better. And I ended up sharing this over on Instagram, but basically, instead of just shoving your entire comforter into the washing machine, if you use this simple method where basically you're going to fold it in half, fold it into thirds, and then kind of fold it up into an S shape and then put it into your washing machine this way, it's going to prevent your comforter from bunching up, from making your machine unbalanced, and it's going to ensure that it gets washed and rinsed evenly because it's not like going to create any clumps inside of the drum. And you can even repeat this folding method before you get it in the dryer to help it dry more evenly.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna whack this one.
Yeah. I like the folding hack. If
the folding hack is, I'm gonna try
but
that
not
one.
the pine sol.
Yeah, I can't.
I like my fresh, clean scent. Like, especially like when you're under and you want to cuddle and that.
Yeah.
I don't want the pine sol scent. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not a pine salt smell person either.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do that.
I definitely will take the folding hack.
Yeah,
for
but,
sure. All right, let us see the next one.
If you're looking for a pliable ice pack, those blue bricks just aren't going to cut it for you. Instead, you can make your own by getting yourself a Zipperlock freezer bag and using a 2-to-1 ratio of water to rubbing alcohol. So for example, if you have a 1-gallon Zipperlock bag, you can add 2 cups of water and 1 cup of rubbing alcohol. When you seal the bag, you want to make sure you get as much air out of it as possible. You're going to stick that in the freezer, and because rubbing alcohol is rubbing alcohol, it won't fully freeze, meaning that the water will be frozen. The rubbing alcohol will help keep everything bendable and moldable. So that way, if you have jaw surgery or a bruise, you can easily wrap that bag around wherever the ice is needed.
For me, that's a hack.
Yeah, it's a hack.
Because I mean, okay, maybe not so many times, but like recently I did fall. It's a whole situation. I'm not going to get into that.
Okay.
But my ankle definitely felt the pain. So having something like that to be able to put on my ankle that can kind of like wrap around would be much better.
Okay.
Than just
it's
like
a hack.
a bag of
Definitely.
peas.
Yeah, see, I have one of those already in my freezer. So I don't need to make, I'm telling you, if I cannot make something,
it's better for her not to make.
Yeah.
Like, you just buy it ready, complete, and it's ready to be used.
It's a hack, but not a hack for me. Let's just say that.
All right, let us see our next one.
Rice for grinders. Coffee grinders, spice grinders, even blenders can start smelling funky or build up oils over time. Here's the odd solution. Pour a handful of uncooked rice inside and run the machine for a few seconds. The rice grains act like little scrubbers, soaking up oils and loosening residue. When you dump it out, you'll be left with a clean, fresh-smelling grinder. Just don't forget to wipe it down before you use it again. You don't want crunchy rice coffee.
I would definitely try that.
I tried that.
Rice, you gotta eat the rice. What are you doing? No, like what?
My blender,
it's a hack.
Use it for the blender.
It is a hack because I bought some coffee, but I needed to grind up the beans, and I saw that hack, and I was like, let me try it real quick, and I did that. And it definitely worked.
It worked.
I would use it for the blender.
It worked.
I don't know. I'll
You know
whack
how
it.
much
Sorry.
smoothies my husband wants in the morning? That would definitely go for the blender.
Yeah.
No,
That is a hack. Okay, we got one
It's a
more.
whack for me.
One more. Let's look at our last one.
Coffee filters for glass. Paper towels often leave streaks and lint behind, but coffee filters are lint-free, cheap, and surprisingly sturdy. Spray your mirror or window with a vinegar and water mix. Wipe with a filter, and you'll get a crystal clear shine without the fuzz. Think of it as upgrading your cleaning game using something meant for brewing coffee. And while we're here, coffee filters also work as emergency napkins, grease absorbers for pizza, and even protectors for fine china. Truly a kitchen MVP.
I don't know.
I would try that
I'll
one.
whack
I'm
it.
always looking for a new way to get streaks out of my glass mirror. So
I'll whack it because I use my
I don't like
cloth.
seeing that streaks or film left over on glass surfaces at all.
No.
So I would say that is
It's
a
a
hack.
whack for me.
I'm gonna have to try that one.
I'm going to try it too.
No, me, I won't.
All right, well, I hope maybe some of these that you just saw you haven't tried before. So go out and try them and let us know if they worked out for you. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Breaking the silence. Sometimes all it takes is a conversation. We're talking career hacks, relationship advice, and and the tools to build an amazing life. Keep it here.
Breaking the silence. Real women, real conversations, real time. Empowering, motivating, and inspiring you live throughout the week. But we know life gets busy, and you shouldn't have to miss a single moment. Check out watch.ulfn.org/breaking-the-silence. Your one-stop destination to catch up, rewatch, and relive your favorite episodes anytime. Unfiltered conversations, influential guests, life-changing moments. All just a click away. Why miss out when you can experience Breaking the Silence over and over again on your time? Start watching today.
Hey, honey. We thought we'd try something new.
Family art hour. What do you think?
You got jokes. You're funny.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
Ready to love again, but worried the past will hold you back? Join Breaking the Silence as we guide you through crucial steps to inner healing before stepping into your next relationship. Step 1. Reflect and release. Acknowledge the past to pave the way for a brighter future. Step 2. Rediscover joy within yourself. Your passions are the key to unlocking a fulfilling life. Step 3. Build a support system. Connect with those who uplift you on your journey to healing. Don't face life's challenges alone. Find your tribe, break the silence, and join the conversation.
We know it's not an easy thing to do. So be kind to yourself, be merciful to yourself.
At the end of the day, when you look at yourself in the mirror, you have to be comfortable with you, despite your flaws or whatever.
This is where I am. My heart, even though it's wounded, even though I've done something, this is what I need to be happy.
Sometimes, all it takes is a conversation.
On Breaking the Silence, we aim to broaden your horizons on a variety of topics.
Understand that things happen, life happens, mistakes happen.
Beneficial advice you can use in your daily life.
For when you're mentally exhausted, it's a completely different thing.
Let's explore today's topic together on Breaking the Silence.
Life be lifing sometimes, but we cannot allow the problems of our day-to-day life, whether it's interactions, it's a phone call, it's an email, it's a messed up plans, whatever it is, throws off your day. We cannot allow that to set the tone for the rest of our day, the rest of our week, and give our power to that situation. Have you ever stopped to think that when you get angry, when you get frustrated, when you allow that one comment, that one look, that one phone call to ruin your day, you have just given all of your power, your joy, your happiness to that person, to that problem. That's not what we're going to be doing. All right. That's what we're going to be talking about in this topic, ladies. The power is in the jump back. Mm-hmm. You can have the bad phone call. You can get the bad news. Whatever it is, as we say, life be lifing, but it's what we do, how quickly we contain ourselves, we get back to our normal state and not allow this to set us back. So ladies, I know you have all dealt with one phone call, one email, one task, one situation that has thrown you off. But just thinking about, on average, how quickly do you bounce back from that? Does it take you maybe a couple hours, a day, maybe a few minutes? How long does it usually take for you to bounce back to like, okay, I've dealt with the situation, I understand the circumstances, but I'm not going to allow it to ruin my day?
Mm-hmm. For me, I think it just depends on the situation and if there's something I can do about it, right? Mm-hmm. Because there's some situations where things will happen and then it's just like, well, I can't change anything. I can't do nothing. So why am I gonna dwell on this? Why am I gonna, ruminate on it? I'm just gonna, have to shake it off, laugh about it, and then just move on. And then there's some times where it's just like, okay, this happened and I need to resolve it. So then I have to spend a little more time, a little more energy on it so that way I can resolve it. And I think that with people, they have to understand that not every situation requires a quick comeback, a quick bounce back. Because some people be like, okay, yeah, this happened. Okay, I'm moving on. But sometimes you're not really moving on. You're suppressing it, right? And it's like you're kind of burying it deep inside. You're running away from facing it. And the more you run away from it, the longer it's just going to sit there. And you're going to notice that you're starting to get irritated more. You're starting to get angry more. And it's not because of things that are happening now, but because you didn't really deal with it. So we have to see things that, do I really need to sit down, process this, get it out, deal with it? Or is this something I can just be like, you know what? It is what it is. It happened. And there's nothing I can do about it. Let me move on. So I think we have to see which one we need to deal with and which one we need to just let it go. That way we can have that power of that quick comeback, that power of that quickness, and we know we're really overcoming it rather than just holding it inside.
Yeah. You see, with me before, it used to really bother me, whether that's something small or something big. It would really kind of ruin my whole day. But now let me teach you this practical step, okay? Pause, breathe, and reset. So that's what I do nowadays. So whether that's, of course, like ShyTia was saying, sometimes it depends the situation, if it's something you can do about it or not. But still, I think this is something that you need to do, because an immediate reaction, usually for us, what makes us frustrated and what makes us angry, we want to kind of fight back. We want to say something. We want to get our message across. But then when you pause, you breathe, you recollect your thoughts, you recollect yourself, and is this really the reaction that's needed at the situation? Because later on you would regret, hey, why did I react that way? Because you were so frustrated, you were so angry, you just want to vent, you just want to say something at that moment. But then when you do pause, when you do breathe and let yourself come down, cool down a little bit. And then when you are in that stable mindset, you'll realize, hey, that's so silly. Hey, that's so petty. Hey, that's not even needed. My reaction didn't need to be that much, that, violent, that aggressive. And then you will have clear thoughts or even clear understanding of what is going on in that situation, right? What is going on there. But then sometimes we get to that quick reaction and we tend to stay there. We don't jump back because of that, that reaction. Oh, why did I do that? So you know what? Let me see if I can actually jump back from this because I messed up. It's chaos now. What are they going to think about me right now? Yeah. So, but then when you think about it before you react, I think that's one essential things that you can do so that you don't regret it later on. Yeah.
And I heard somebody say that it takes you 90 seconds to feel your emotion, for it to go through your body and to just kind of dissipate. So before you react to a situation, before you answer the email, before you go and speak to somebody, allow that 90 seconds of that emotion to run through your body and then let it kind of calm down for you to think clearly before you respond. Because a lot of the times we see things that we don't like. Somebody says something that hits you the wrong way, you receive a message that you weren't expecting, and you're quick to just fire off. Yeah. And then you're like, oh my gosh, why did I say what I said? So they say take that 90 seconds and allow you to feel those emotions and for the emotions to go through. And then you can think with a clearer mind of how to better respond. So we just need to be focused on making sure that we're protecting our peace, that we're not constantly reliving the situation, reliving the email, reliving the thing that has hit our desk. Because when we do that, then we're just refueling those emotions and those frustrations and that anger inside of us. And it will totally taint the rest of your day, your week, your month ahead. But as ShyTia said, also don't avoid it. Feel what you're feeling, understand what it is that you're going through, and then react as though you need to react. don't need to overreact. We don't need to relive the situation, but we also don't need to avoid the situation either. I hope this segment helped you. It gave you some information to think about, and just take those 90 seconds, think, pause, breathe before you react. All right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Empowered women, empowering conversations. Stay with us on Breaking the Silence as we inspire and uplift each other.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Hola, familia linda. We are here, guys.
I'm happy to be what you got.
Still haven't heard the news?
You have reached this channel because God has the want to change your life.
Let's be real. All you need is
Right here on the Showdown of Faith, I want you to be connected with us. When I say us, myself, and the whole team of faith.
on LFN. You are not just another viewer. You are family.
BTS family, by the way.
YOLO show, you already know what time it is. It is the show that grows and has a lot to give and a lot of slows. I don't know about the slow part.
Sorry, guys, but you know, the truth is, I'm not failing you, okay?
There's a lot to get into.
Okay, I'm about to say, like.
Ready? So, zoom in. We gonna say it like this. You feel what I'm saying?
So unique, so new.
On Living Faith Network.
There you go. There you go. Listen, pro tips all around, right?
Stick around, because this network is just for you.
Let's continue the power of connection. Breaking the Silence, where women come together to uplift, support, and celebrate each other. Your journey continues right here.
Rose, thorn, bud.
Yes.
All right. This is where we put ourselves out there, things that we're proud of, things that we're working on, and things that are on a thorn in our side. So as you can see there on your screen, the rose represents something positive that happened to you recently. And then the thorn it represents a challenge you faced or something you like to improve on. And then the bud represents something you're looking forward to. All right. So are we ready to reveal our rose, thorn, bud?
Yes.
You don't sound very excited about that over there, ShyTia.
Well, we'll see why.
All right. Now I'm interested.
Okay, let's see if yours is going to be up
see our first one. Oh, this one is mine. Okay. So my rose is I made it to the gym finally. My thorn is starting my garden, my vegetable garden. And then bud is getting out of the planning stage. So I kind of get into that hype of like the planning. Like I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it just kind of all stays in my mind and it doesn't go any further as to why my garden is my thorn, because it's like you get so overwhelmed with so many things in your mind and people are saying, you need this, you need that, you don't need this is what you need. And it's like you can never get out of that stage. And I have been looking for ways to be able to have work-life balance to where it's like I'm not just work all the time. And so I saw that, you know, through doing Breaking the Silence and doing other research, that gardening is a great way to kind of de-stress. And vegetables are getting expensive. So what better way than to like have your own garden?
Getting in it nowadays. So.
Exactly. So I was like, well, maybe I can just like get into gardening. But now I'm just overwhelmed by like all the things that you should do, you shouldn't do, whether you should build, how deep it needs to, like all of these things. And I'm just like, okay, the planning is staying in my mind, but I'm hoping to get out of that stage. And I finally went to the gym. I said, I am not going to procrastinate anymore. Just like in that book that I read about the atomic habits, they say if you say that you're going to do something out loud, you're more than likely to do it. And so I told myself, I said, you're going to the gym, whether you want to or not. And of course, when my alarm got off in the morning, I was like, I'll go tomorrow. And I was like, girl, you already promised yourself you were going to go get out of this bed and just go. And I kind of like tell myself, you just go there to build the habit, right? You don't even have to do like a real workout. Just build the habit. And then I'm like, okay. It's kind of an easier blow than to think like I got to do a whole 45-minute workout. When I tell myself, you're just building the habit. Even if you just go on the treadmill, 10 minutes, it's fine.
And you found the buddy there.
Yeah. Did you see anybody familiar?
Yes.
No comment?
I did. And this buddy, I was like, for sure will not be at the gym at the time that I'm there because I was told they went to the gym at a different time. And there I am in my own world working out, and I look up and I was like, let me die right now. Why are you here? If you know who I'm talking about.
All right. Okay.
Next one.
Okay.
Okay, so this is me.
Okay.
So my rose is I completed a task that seemed impossible.
Okay.
My thorn is when I have a lot to do and don't know where to start. And my bud is becoming more efficient with my time management. So my rose, I actually had a task that it took me like almost a week to accomplish. And it was just so stressful, especially when you get like all the phone calls asking if it's finished. You know, you have that deadline and it's past the deadline and you still didn't do it, but it's out of your control.
Yeah.
So it's like when I finally finished, I just felt like a relief take over me. And I was just like, oh, thank you, I finished.
I can breathe.
Yes, but also I do feel overwhelmed when I have a lot of different tasks and I don't know where to start. Let's say like, especially during like spring cleaning time, it's like you want to clean your whole house and you're just like, okay, where do I start? And then your husband comes home and everything is just all out of the boxes and everything, you know? And also like my bud is becoming more efficient with my time management. I am working towards it where I do set like, you know, timers and I'm like, okay, I have an hour to do this. I have an hour to do that. And it's working, but also I'll like extend the hour, like when my timer goes off of my like rest time, I will still like, let me get another 30 minutes. Let me do. So I'm working on being consistent with the timers I set.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice. All right.
All right. And what about Angeli?
All right, let's take a look. Okay, my rose. Okay, I cooked a meal for my husband and he actually complimented it. Ooh, I'm going to tell you about it later. The thorn. Taking care of some things at the last minute. Yes. And my bud, balancing time management. So you see, me and ShyTia, we're kind of like in the same boat in here. Okay, so my husband is complimented with a few words, right? So he's not really somebody who would like really express, even though I'm not saying that, hey, he doesn't eat my food, of course. But then when it's actually really, really like something that really he likes it, like he likes it and stuff like that, like he would express it. So recently, I've been preparing and stuff like that, and I tried this new recipe, and I didn't know that because he's such a picky eater. So I just tried it just in case if he would like it or not, because something new, of course. And then he said it's actually good for somebody who's a picky eater.
It's because he watches Breaking the Silence and he hears all the times you say he does not compliment you.
So that's why. So I'm like, all right, okay. Now, hello, if you're watching, then I talk about him now and say that, okay. And I was like, okay, that's good. I was in my,
feeling good.
I was like, all right, that's good. But I didn't really actually show it that much because, you know, how sometimes it's kind of like, no, okay, you're not going to get it anymore. But anyway, so that's something that happened recently to me. And it made me, have a positive mood and made me want to try newer things. However, my thorn is taking care of some things last minute. So recipes, tasks, or some things that I just need to get done, sometimes I would just take care of it last minute. Like what we were talking about earlier on, but I'm not saying I'm that person. But sometimes you're just like, no, this one is still next week.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to tackle that because I'm going to tackle whatever is in front of me right now. So I tend to kind of like push it in my to-do list. And then by that time, it's already like, oh, you did not take care of the days, the events that may happen, that could happen, right? So that is one of my thorns. I'm working on it. And that's why my bod is balancing time management. Of course, I'm still doing the timers and stuff like that, being consistent. So I think, that's it for my roast, thorn, and bud.
All right. Well, I think we're doing pretty good overall. It was a good roast, thorn, bud. I hope y'all enjoyed it and got to know us a little bit more to see what our struggles are, what we're looking forward to, and what we were able to accomplish. All right. So on that note, we're going to take a quick break. The show is not over, so stay tuned for more.
When I'm on stage, I'm not trained. I'm Beyonce. Not me being like,
you wear a lot of hats.
Yeah, this one too.
Always said that I wanted to do a TED Talk, but never did I think that I would have done it at this age.
So I say, don't wait for somebody to give you a chance. Give yourself a chance.
Wow. I gotta clap my hands too because it's not easy.
And people say you can't wash your hair when your period's on. That is not true.
Air five. Bam! There we go.
Who do you turn to when your best friend sinks into depression? Where do you go when your father faces moments of hardship? How do you help your sister when her world falls apart? As a faithful viewer, you know that help is just a phone call away. But it's not just for you. Our 24-hour helpline is open to everyone, day or night, free of charge. If someone you know is struggling, share our helpline number with them. They can call 1-888-332-4141 or text us 1-888-312-4141. Men and women of faith are ready to listen, pray, and guide anyone in need. They don't have to face life struggles alone. LFN's helpline is where problems are heard and prayers are made.
Wow, how the time has flown. I know you said it was not over,
It's really
but
not
now it's coming to an end, all right? Unfortunately, but we will be back on your screen tomorrow, so you won't be long without us gracing your screen and invading your living room, your workplace, your car, wherever you're joining us and watching us. But if you would like to be a viewer joiner of Breaking the Silence, which we would love to have you on the show and share your story, you can go ahead and scan the QR code. There you go. It will take you to our Instagram page, which is Breaking the Silence _talk show. There you can leave in your comments. You can leave your roast, thorn, bud. You can leave in all of your cleaning hacks. And if you would like us to celebrate, maybe you have somebody special in your life that you would like celebrated, you can also leave that information there on our Instagram page and we'll be able to read them on air one day, right? Yeah. But this was a great show, great conversation. Definitely went by pretty quickly. I would have to say it definitely flew by. But we're gonna have to say bye for now. We'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.